So, bit of a win for the rookie. But I think the big difference you're going to see initially is going to be in that first turtle. Already both junglers coming at it. Will ONIC try and go for something else, or going to try and shut down Nile against the turtle bit, and then try and get something a bit more guaranteed? Because in the early game, that Lilia damage is something that GEEKFAM has to take into consideration as well.
Luke is in position. It's going to be Nile jumping in with penalty zone. It's Boots helping out on the back line, and it's going to be Kyrie who wins it with a heavy spin. This is what we expect on the Akai. Nile pinned down, and first blood over to ONIC. Luke getting the holy healing to disengage, but Keyboy wants more. Diving deep, the Stampede brings him back for a bit, but it's just ONIC who takes a big W and walks out. Oh, Sans almost getting another cheeky little kill.
It's such a statement from ONIC here. They completely turned the jungle around. Now Kyrie is on the Akai, and I think coming to this matchup as a whole, ONIC and GEEKFAM, a lot of highlights between who is the better jungler. Sure, Kyrie is still number one, but a lot of people have said that Nile is a close second. He's a budding, a junior Kyrie in a way. And this statement coming from Kyrie is huge, just really pushing Nile down and testing his confidence, his level of confidence that we've seen him portray throughout the playoffs.
Well, the performance of Nile is, how far GEEKFAM has come in this playoffs is in no small part due to the success of Nile and the crazy moments he's been able to find, even against the more well-known junglers, the more experienced junglers as well. So here, if he can really get going, if he can get some kills and such a snowball, he can definitely still bring the fight to ONIC.
Holy Baptism connecting onto one member only. Beloy forced to run away all the way under the tier 1 and then towards the purple buff. That's the off-angle attack of Boots, and Nile has already used the Retribution to try to finally fend Boots away. Get away, but in the bottom lane the same thing happens, but onto the gold laner now with a pin down. That's a good Nether Realm from a boy, but he did commit a flicker for it. That's a big resource, a big ultimate. Same goes for that heavy spin though.
And in the previous game, we started the macro play. The split push was what GEEKFAM was using. Now it's no longer available. They're going to be very reliant on going for these team fights, but with the gold lane pressured so much by the roaming, it's going to be a lot more difficult to do so in the mid game when the items start rolling in.
What did you guys say earlier on with Rafaela? In the gold lane, whoever is with Rafaela usually wins lane.
Yeah, but they have a Matilda, right?
Exactly.
That's where the neutralization is. And now they go in as a penalty zone. Aggressive one onto Luke. They know he has no heavy spin. Boots is helping him out, but a boy now with the Ghost Bursters picks up the kill. It's the Panda dying, but ONIC get delayed. The turtle take. Now it's Keyboy with a good circling eagle to try to delay it even further. It seems like ONIC might have to give it away this time round. Nile has that Retribution, but a boy is bringing Boots back. They're still trying to delay it. Keyboy is rotating again. Nile should get it for free unless Keyboy, nope, cannot make a play there. ONIC will instead look for pressure elsewhere.
And the punish occurs here in the 5th minute of the game, with Kyrie taken out right before the turtle take even have begun. It was GEEKFAM being able to win it out, but ONIC very quick to look for another thing on the board. They look for compensation and take away that turret in the bottom side.
And the intelligence that circling eagle gives you is just, again, so underrated. We've mentioned it multiple times, but with Keyboy popping it, you just see so much more intelligence, and that means that ONIC can move in a more educated fashion. On top of that, by the way, it was interesting in the earlier fight because Sans wasn't even passing towards the turtle at all, and now he's getting caught out.
Sans forced to use that sprint. He already used the black shoes. Oh, he dodges away from the taunt, and now with the circling eagle, knocking Nile up. Boots, knockout strike to try to lock him down. That's enough damage, says ONIC. We'll go back and look for scraps. Nile on the other side. Oh, Harry with a dash forward, very aggressive, trying to zone them away. It looks like they want to mount up a siege in the mid lane. Those are some big glooms coming at it, forcing out another realm as Kyrie gets stunned up, but he's still able to walk away. Luke, penalty zone, but it's only on to Chewe, who should be able to get out with a guiding win very easily.
Wow, all right. That was nearly such a different, entirely weighted outcome. But did you see what Boots was able to do? He was able to distract 2 members from the side of GEEKFAM from even entering that team fight. And so ONIC, they were confident enough to be able to go for it. And this is Boots in the early game that you can't really consider has that much impact, really depending on the items that he's about to go for. But in that late stage, I expect this to be very brutal for GEEKFAM.
And it is. Look at how much damage they're putting onto Luke with no full barrage, just a circling eagle to knock him up, and CW using those basic attacks.
think that point on Boots just having so much impact, so much crowd control, is a very good one. Because I was talking about the difference between the Fredrin and the Akai, and the Fredrin has a lot more crowd control. He can spam out. Well, in this game, you can see that Boots isn't targeting the back line. He's just crowd controlling the frontliners, trying to be a big nuisance for his team. It's a completely different approach, and I think GeekFam are just either not recognizing it or just not used to this playstyle.
We saw a team fight domination in game 1. We saw a pickoff sorta domination in game 2, and now we're just seeing an objective domination from ONIC. They're trying to win on all fronts against GeekFam. Even Kyrie there, look at him, standing menacingly. He was just there. And that presence alone is going to force Luke to say, all right, you know what? Sure, I'll back away.
Exactly, that's the entire team. The zoning potential coming in from ONIC, and GeekFam understand it, because when they go forward, this is what they get.
When they go forward, a Panda forces them backwards. Niall brought back entirely to the team, and no amount of healing, no amount of resources will be able to get you out of a team like this, who is 2,000 gold ahead. That's a knock-up onto Luke. Meanwhile, Boots in a 2v1, no problem. Just goes at it. Still has a shielding Kibo with the guiding wind as well, and a circling eagle. And even a full barrage. Max range forces it another realm. Gets brought back by that circling eagle, that guiding wind. Luke now caught in the midst, jumped in for the penalty zone right now, and it's actually a turnaround, a good one by Luke. Flickers out to safety, and GeekFam have finally gotten a good win in their hands. Kyrie able to jump back a boy with a stampede, brings Sans back all the way to the back. Sans dodging away, but it is all for naught. GeekFam gets the first win in the series.
This is the moment that we've been waiting for. This is what the community all around the world has been waiting for. A 3-4-0 trade in favor of GeekFam as they retake the game. They get a little bit more space. They take away the purple buff away from a Kyrie. Niall able to take it. Is Keyboy going a little too heavy? Still able to get out, doesn't commit onto that. But 8 minutes in, 9 minutes in, this is what we want to see.
That's what GeekFam require, but also ONIC is being uncharacteristically greedy for that kill there, just going in and bringing CW all the way to the front line against a team with so much damage, but with shorter range. It's a bit of a similar matchup we've seen GeekFam and ONIC in before, but if the ONIC wants to get success, they have to be a bit more careful. There's a lot of ways that GeekFam can punish, and we're seeing it in the previous fight.
Penalty zone locked on to the baptism as well, comboed in together, but the guiding wind gets him out. Now ONIC mounting up a re-engage. GeekFam have an advantage in numbers up top. Turns out ONIC are just trying to bait, trying to feint, to give the bottom side a bit more of an advantage. It's Kyrie and CW on the Lord. Niall with a Appraiser's Wrath. Kyrie with a heavy spin. No, he doesn't even use it. Now he decides to do it, and it's a pin Niall down. The Nether Realm grants him a bit more HP. CW dealing quite a good amount of damage. Boots clearing out this mid-wave, and ONIC just win out in the trade. GeekFam, though, will not leave it to that. Sans has the black shoes, pops it. Luke now going to be knocked up. Luke, in the midst of it all, still using the hammers to get that sustain. The holy healing with the flask of the Oasis gets him out. Keyboy, that's a circling eagle. Caw-caw, as Leo would say.
Shout out, Leo.
Shout out, Leo.
We miss you. But back to that point, was that too early of an Appraiser's Wrath, Arashi?
I think he was just desperate to go for it, because the fact is he's alone against two members, and CW on a marksman has essentially unlimited damage output. That's the benefit of a marksman, right? Can keep hitting, keep doing damage, and now just wants to really seal the deal, take the Lord, and Kyrie just very calmly doesn't even use the heavy spin and just goes for it. Now in the bot side though, more aggression from ONIC.
Luke's all alone, penalty zone onto Sans. He still has the black shoes, gets out as quickly as Luke was able to engage. Now he flickers out. Kyrie's looking for the play, heavy spin, pinning Beloyski down, but he gets knocked back just a bit. That displacement saved Beloy. They're looking for this bottom side, but GeekFam has managed it enough.
All right, let's reel it in a little bit. At this point of the game, 11 minutes in, we might not be able to, as Keyboy goes in again.
Ooh, two knockups onto Niall. Appraiser's Wrath not connecting. Now it's Boots with another knockup. Make it 4. Niall in the midst of it all, the full barrage from CW. Takes 2 down, and a boy is left alone to flicker back to the base.
That's a dangerous situation to be in, using all your engage, but having nothing to cancel CW on the full barrage. ONIC was able to just force that fight due to the abundance of resources they have, and Sans is just so risky with this Lilia, abusing the black shoes, his signature playstyle. We haven't seen it in a long time, but it shows that the rust really isn't evident in his playstyle.
Definitely not. I'm surprised. Wait, are we surprised at this point? It's hard to tell.
It just sounds things.
It sounds things. You're right. 4,000 gold lead now for ONIC. Keyboy.
It's Keyboy things as well.
See, and he doesn't even get taken down for those kind of plays. He's just flexing at this point.
So unfair. But now,
Monster.
if you look at the situation though, GeekFam, Marky has been farming and he hasn't been taken down. So technically he can kind of be the difference maker, but it depends on how the fight begins, right? There's a lot of ways for ONIC to zone him out. So then the shoes are on the other foot. If he wants to try and stay in the Netherrealm, then GeekFam needs to play around him. And I think it's a bit difficult because ONIC are the ones that can dictate the movements, dictate the crowd control. And Kyrie, compared to Niall, I must say, is so much better at
Whoa.
setting up the heavy spin. But whoa!
What was that? Black Shoes? No way he survived this. The photo. Sans gets out. It's Keyboy with the guiding wind to save him. My goodness. Even with a blunder, it's not enough to take one of ONIC's members down. But they do have an advantage now. An advantage they seek to utilize here. They're blitzing the Lord. Kyrie is the hope right now for ONIC to secure this game. It's going to be the circling eagle. Good penalty zone as well. Niall finds the combo, but Kyrie finds a two-man at the barrage from CW into the guiding wind of Keyboy. GeekFam find the Lord, but they lose out on a massive team fight.
They lose Boloyski. They lose Niall. They going for more!
Under the base turret. The turrets are non-existent. Keyboy, guiding wind. He finally dies. That's what you deserve for doing all these blasphemic things.
But he has taken out Marky. No one's clearing the waves. A boy forced to flick around. One base turret down. ONIC. They're ignoring the Lord. They take all the base turrets down.
Without the Lord, without minions, they just get it. They poke it down. And who's it worth for? Do I even need to ask? That's 4. Make it 6 for the base turrets as well. And Kyrie gets the orange buff.
Take a look at the instant replay right there. A great penalty zone stuns Kyrie up. It's a great set from GeekFam, but afterwards, 2 men pinned down and a full barrage, completely uninterrupted.
Jeez.
And in our own games, Mirko, we question if this is possible. Full barrage into the guiding wind. Well, now we have a very definite answer. That is deadly.
Why isn't it possible?
Right? Because the one thing that Ixia lacks is that range, that movement, but with the guiding wind being able to pull him in and out within that ultimate, that's like the perfect setup coming in from ONIC, the perfect solution to Ixia's immobility when she goes in for her ultimate.
Oh, weird flank from Boots right there. Could have been possible, but the Ixia, CW is farming away, so it doesn't seem like this is a fight that they want to have. Now those is otherwise, but they won't have enough damage, not enough crowd control to hold down the Raging Panda.
Dragon Warrior. What do they do? Well, right now, they're trying to poke Kyrie. That's what they're trying to do. Kyrie jumps in. Heavy spin, bring Marky onto Boots. Now he's going to the back. Marky taking low. That's the photo. And another realm baited out. Meanwhile, Luke in the front. It's still going to be Boots surviving and getting out. The crowd roars as Boots gets out with the guiding wind. Now the appraiser's round. On to Kyrie. That's the Panda down, but CW is free hitting in the back. The guiding wind as well. Luke in the midst of it all, but it's CW and Sans who comes out on top. 1 down for ONIC earlier. ONIC make it 2 down for GeekFam. Make it 3. Niall almost caught.
Is Keyboy? No way, right? No way did they go for this. He's just posturing. All right, he's doing Keyboy things, but in the grand scheme of things, that was a huge win coming in from ONIC. And how did it end up like that? Because technically Luke was doing everything right.
Yeah.
His job is penalty zoning CW in the back line. He was able to do that. Why was there no damage? Where was the follow-up?
Okay, I think the question is the follow-up on who? The fight was so sporadic in every single direction due to the guiding wind, and CW is the main carry here. And in that fight, he was relatively untouched. GeekFam were kind of baited by the low
penalty zone onto CW, Arashi, yet he still survived.
Exactly, because alone, the Terizla can't really do all that, especially with Keyboy just escorting CW. So GeekFam needs to find someone else to join the fray with him. Like earlier, when a boy was able to get his hands on CW, he does get taken out. We take a look at the items here though. Sans is doing a lot more burst heavy damage. I thought he was going to go for a glowing one considering the tankiness, but no, Boloyski!
Godlike.
What?
CW is godlike. CW gets brought back in front of 2 frontliners, and all GeekFam think of doing is we need to recall. That's when you know you have a lead. That's when you know You've gone to their minds. The marksman was right in front of you, and they couldn't do a thing.
It's just a big, massive mind game, man, at this point. If they want to go on that without the intelligence, without the vision, they're worried that if they jump on CW, it's going to be a counter-engage instead.
Exactly.
With the items built up here, a boy tries to make a play, but Sans, look at him! He's walking in the front lines.
And now it's Keyboy flying in the front lines, getting back to safety, and that's all three. Base turrets down. 17 minutes, 7,000 gold lead. ONIC are mounting up to a siege. Might be the final one to secure match point.
And this is not what we expected from GEEKFAM at all. How? And it's insane because every single member of ONIC, they can play several different playstyles, and we see that come through here.
Circling Eagle onto 4, knocking 4 up right now. It's actually Nile in the front, given the Nether Realm. Luke jumps in with the penalty zone onto 3, but CW positions himself. He has a full barrage. Boloitsky jumps in, but CW gets the Hailey, gets out! CW and Keyboy get him to safety. CW gets the shield, he gets the guiding win. A kited battle. It's only Sans who was taken now. GEEKFAM are able to fend off, but ONIC are able to back off.
Oof, man, back and forth, but there we go. A boy barreling in together with Luke. That is what they needed to shut CW down in the middle of the fight. Unfortunately, they were unable to take him out due to the guiding win, and that was their big opportunity. Now with that precedent, ONIC will be placing Keyboy a bit further away from CW for the next fight. It's a bit of a victory, but what can GEEKFAM find with it? They're trying to get more fights, they're trying to get more catches, but ONIC just isn't giving them anything to work with.
At all! They're taking everything away, and to make it all worse, Boots is playing the macro game as well. He's setting it up, he's giving space for his team, he's buying time. With 61 seconds left for the Lord to spawn next, do you even think that ONIC require it? Do you think they're gonna go for it here?
I think they can if they want to. At this point, it's an open book. They have all the tools available to do whichever they want. A big team fight, a split push. There's so many options available to them, and that's just so confusing. Can't imagine being on the receiving end. Because even earlier, we expect Boots to maybe go a bit more aggressively, shut down a boy or Marky. But no, he just goes back and crowd controls Luke in order to just get that much more survivability for CW.
And now GEEKFAM are actually getting to that power spike. The power spike they've been waiting for. The power spike we've been waiting for. Marky is online. He's gotten his final item, that Wind Talker, to sell the boots for. Is this going to be enough to leave a dent on ONIC's frontliners?
It's all going to rely on how GEEKFAM are able to catch ONIC, right? If they can make ONIC commit to a fight, then Marky can output that damage. But otherwise, the Kai'Deck, I think, is just going to be too difficult to deal with. And keep in mind, there's that macro threat as well from Boots. So it's on ONIC to really fumble the ball here and give GEEKFAM that perfect fight where a boy can output all the damage, can maybe get taken out and come back with the passive of the Faramis.
Execution, timing, determination is going to be very important here. And ONIC are looking to zone out GEEKFAM at this point. They need to make things scrappy for ONIC. They need to deny the front-to-back compositions they have. They need to be able to threaten CW in the back line.
That's a circling Eagle onto Boloitsky. Kyrie is in the midst right now. Luke has a penalty zone. Will Kyrie pop in heavy spin? He will. And Nile gets zoned away. It's going to be who? Who secures it? Kyrie! As Luke is isolated once again, melted down. That's a penalty zone. Used defensively to the back. What is the full barrage?
Oh!
From Chewe to flicker forward. And a guiding win. Chasing back. GEEKFAM trying to run away. Nile with a 3-man taunt. Nile with some damage. Nile knocked up. Kyrie 1 HP. Will it be able to get the kill? No, it's Chewe! Once again, Boots walks forward. One member left standing.
Oh!
The Appraiser's Wrath gets one. But Chewe has been left untouched.
Keyboy, the only casualty in that long-drawn fight. ONIC!
Whoa.
Sans, however, can they push for the end?
I don't think it's enough. I don't think a boy can defend this all alone. He buys the immortality. He tries to delay the inevitable. And ONIC are the inevitable. A full barrage right in the face of a boy. ONIC, the Sky Kings, as dominant as ever. It's match point.
GEEKFAM are